All right, I'm here with Tommy Rogers. They Between the Buried and Me just put out their newest release, The Blue Nowhere, which is progressive majesty, if I could say. And it's your first album in 4 years now, and which is weird because you guys really haven't taken any breaks, though.
We haven't. Yeah, I mean, COVID definitely kind of pushed our timeline back quite a bit, you know, because we had naturally lots of stuff planned and everything. We kind of were playing catch up for a couple years. And then before you know it, we're like, shit, we haven't put a record out in a while. And then, you know, it was time to start writing, and we jumped right in. And now, you know, for the most part, when we start working on music, like, we shut off everything else. You know, there's no other aspects, you know, no touring or anything happening. So yeah, in typical crazy BTBAM fashion, we wrote the record pretty fast, and yeah, it was a really good writing session and recording session, and a lot of magic for sure.
Cool.
I'm glad it's here finally.
Yeah, no kidding. First question, you have a new member of the band.
Yeah.
Touring member,
yeah.
So was that a conscious decision to have him not on the album, or was it that you guys were in the middle of it already?
I mean, we've been writing kind of the way we did for this record for a long, long time. So I mean, it was just like we didn't need someone else to have ideas. You know, we didn't. I mean, honestly, there's times where you have too many ideas as it is anyway. So right. I mean, it was one of those things where we were just like, let's do what we do, you know, and we don't need to mess with that. So.
And do you think that's gonna carry through, or do you guys take this case by case basis?
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure it out when we start writing the next one. So we never, I mean, in general, we don't really think too far ahead. You know, it's kind of, I mean, even in life, I kind of live year by year and just kind of see what happens. I think especially we're all kind of in that boat, especially after COVID and just, you know, the state of the world in general. So I mean,
it's a little crazy right now. So
can't plan too much.
So in that vein, Blue Nowhere. Tell me about it. What's the general concept here? I mean, you usually write around some sort of concept.
Yeah, I mean, the album to me takes space in this hotel called the Blue Nowhere, where it kind of at the end of the day, it's all about the human experience, and it's the beauties, the horror, the bizarreness that life throws at you, and it's just about searching and finding something, which I think we all are constantly doing. You know, we're always searching for a feeling or you know, a status for some people. You know, it's just we're trying to find like this sense of happiness in life, and it's just I just wanted to kind of somehow make that happen lyrically, and it was more like each song to me, especially when we started working on the music, instantly it felt like each song kind of lived in its own world. So I was like, this is perfect for like a hotel. Each song kind of take place in this place that's constantly evolving. Things are, you know, it's not like anything typical. Things are weird. You know, every song drastically kind of takes a turn. And I kind of wrote it like almost like journal entries where I just kind of wrote a lot every day, like with little prompts. And then after I had a big chunk of things, I got to sit down and almost like a puzzle start to kind of put together the story. And it's pretty interesting because I'm still kind of like understanding it in a weird way. Like I'm still like every time I look back at a song or a chunk of the album, like it kind of new meaning kind of pops up, which is cool.
I can totally see that because like I got the album a week early, you know, and I've been listening to it nonstop, and every time I hear, even musically, lyrically, like I hear something that like sticks with me, and then and I find myself saying it throughout the course of the day. Like the whole concept of things we tell ourselves in the dark. Focus on that song for a moment. It's funny because me and him we were just talking about this. He's like, you should ask him if you were purposely trying to throw a curveball and like bury the lead, so to speak, of what this album's gonna sound like.
In a way.
But I see it as it's almost like the perfect like introduction to the album because it's got aspects of every song in it. It's got some funkiness, it's got some real heavy parts, a lot of melody. And I saw that you were quoted saying like you took almost a pop approach when it came to the melody lines or the vocals. So can you expand on that a little bit?
I mean, I think just we wanted to kind of come out boldly, you know, even starting the record, we wanted to kind of start a lot differently than our other albums, and we just felt it was kind of cool just to kind of jump in. There's very little songs that we, you know, basically just start with vocals. You know, there's not like a long intro or anything.
What's up, Paul? Is that Paul Waggoner?
I thought I was supposed to be in this.
Come on in.
Didn't wait for me. It's fucking rude. I mean,
mad.
I don't have to do it.
I'm mad that you cut your hair. That was it.
You what now?
I'm mad that you cut your hair.
Really?
No,
God,
not
it's been long enough. Yours is shorter than mine.
Dude, I have no choice. Mine's a genetic problem. I can't do anything about it. Paul Waggoner is the guitarist of Between the Buried and Me, and we were just expanding on things we tell ourselves in the dark. So, what is your angle about that? How do you feel about that
I
song?
don't like it. Never liked it.
Not your favorite.
No, I love the song. Yeah, I don't know what Tommy said about it so far, but
well, we talked about his. We talked about his. All bad things. We talked about his vocal stylings and how he approached that. So, how did you approach this song or this album in general?
That's a rare time where the demo, which was Dan demoed that song out and sent it to us, and we really didn't tweak it much musically. You know, we added a little bit to sort of that build up at the end before the last chorus, but other than that, we were like, this is a really cool song. I thought the most interesting thing about it from like a guitar perspective was that like the guitars and the bass and the keys are kind of playing hot potato a little bit there, especially at the beginning. There's like lines here and there in a line. Boom, it's like boom, 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 you know, which I thought was really cool. Because it's hard to do that and still maintain like a consistent kind of groove and stuff, which it does. It's still somehow ends up being very groovy. So that was interesting. And just playing, a lot of it was just like, you know, getting the right sounds, I guess, to make that work. And came out great.
Yeah, it was cool. I think sonically it's really different for us.
Yeah, it is.
It was instantly one of my favorite like songs in your catalog. It was just so like I look at you guys and I'm like, what else can they do at this point? You know what I mean? Like so I guess the next question is something that I heard a little more prominently on this record is, are you guys going to be the next ones to take an orchestra on tour with you?
We can't afford it. We couldn't even afford a real orchestra on the record. We had Dan put together his orchestra with a bunch of buds.
No, because I was going to say, well, that's something we checked. Like, I thought maybe it was, you know, through keyboards that you would make these noises, but
which we do a lot. You know, it just, there was parts that were written that, you know, were pretty bare aside from like strings and drums and, you know, bass or whatever and vocals, and we were just, I don't know, we just needed it to be done for real. And Dan had a great group, and he put it all together, like recorded it all before we even got in studio.
He's kind of formed this cool network of like musicians that play instruments that we can't play, you know, string playing, cello,
always
whatever,
a problem,
you know, and that are down to do this kind of music, because obviously it's fucking weird.
No kidding.
Like,
a lot of times you'll send stuff to like classically trained people, and they're just like, what is this?
But if you can find some people that are like down to give it a shot, you know, and he's found some really cool ones that are great players and also down to do some weird stuff, and they nailed it, you know. But like Tommy said, I mean, sometimes you use keyboards or whatever to get those sounds. But I think one thing that makes this album cool is that we did find some real, you know, string and horn players.
I just think those parts are so much better.
Yeah, they're
because
better.
of that.
I agree.
And we knew that instantly. I mean, the second we even demoed it out, we're like, this will sound good, but, you know, anybody sonically that knows anything about recording, like, if you don't have heavy guitar over it, it's going to be exposed a lot more. So we just knew we needed to really have those real warm tones that, you know, natural instruments have.
That was a great.
But bringing them on tour, probably not going to happen. I mean,
that'd be cool. But
I mean, it'd be
weird because it'd be like 6 parts or something.
Yeah, sure. Well, if you were doing the album in full, right? Maybe. Which brings me to my next question. So, looking at the set list, I haven't seen any obvious first show of this tour, but like, you guys haven't like had to sit and like figure out a set list in quite some time, right? Because you guys have just been performing albums. You've done almost every album now except for like the first 2 and the Automata albums, right? Am I saying that right? Can you settle a debate? Is it Automata?
Automata.
Or Automata? Automata.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Reddit BTBAM fans are
They usually are.
Well, it's just like, so the band you went on tour with earlier this year, Protest the Hero.
Yeah.
I used to call their first album Kezia, and it's Keziah. Like, and I heard him say it, Rhodey, and I was like, oh crap! All right, well, I've been saying it wrong for 10 years or whatever. So, did you find challenges picking songs for this set list because you've done all the albums, or was it, or did that make it easier? Did it open it up for you to be like, we can literally play anything?
I think it was exciting because it has been so long.
Stoked to be able to pick songs again. I mean, obviously we'll got to play some new songs, but as far as like and we knew, I think, which new songs we wanted to play. But yeah, then picking the old ones, it's like, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty easy, you know. Yeah, just to kind of grab some songs that maybe you haven't played in a while, but then you also want to have songs that kind of go into one another in some sort of way, so that it feels like a
production.
Yeah,
sure,
and doesn't feel too choppy. So once you kind of establish your parameters on how you want to curate the set list, like, it's pretty easy to
the toughest part was honestly because we just got done touring Europe 3.5 weeks ago, so finding that like balance of like stuff we played over there because it's sort of in our memory, and then new stuff, you know, we don't have a whole lot of time to get it ready, so we definitely were like, the second we got home, had to get to work, you know. So.
And that brings me to so your catalog is so, like, with all the technical music that you guys play with the ins and outs and how tight it has to be. Is there ever a time where you guys pull like a Faith No More or a Primus and just be like, dude, let's play this, like, before you go on stage? Is that even possible, or is that like do you remember all the lyrics to everything you've written? Like,
No, and in the age of like click tracks and show files and time code light shows and stuff like that, I don't know any bands in our world that wing it like that.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean, like, everybody's pretty much got a set list that they play.
Our brains get
our brain, especially like the older we get, it's like, man, I just can't, like, I'm at capacity, you know what I mean?
I mean, we did the Como Alaska tour,
CPU, like, you know, whatever that says, when it's like, my RAM is pretty well cooked.
That's what I say whenever I hear something that's like outlandish for me. Like, I've crammed my head with like new stuff that I'm like, I just don't have room for that. Like,
exactly.
I'm gonna have
for
to
a
lose
new thing to come in. Something's got
exactly. I'm gonna have to lose something in order to pick that up. So this tour runs for how long? This is a long run, right?
A little over 6 weeks.
Over 6 weeks,
And you're bringing all these bands with you?
3 bands, but
total
so each night.
That's pretty awesome. Oh, so you have a rotating type of thing going on?
Yeah, the first band's
they're on for like a week, right?
Yeah, they're on for a week, and then Delta Sleep jumps on.
Yeah.
And then how do you go about picking like your opening bands? Like, do you do that, or is it just a matter of who's around?
It depends. It's kind of both. You know, it's tougher now. Not as many bands tour, and not finding schedules lining up. You know, we normally start with bands we want, and then you kind of go from there and see who's available. But yeah, this tour, it was kind of, I think we went through a few lineups till it like finalized.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously it's first day, but everybody's clicking well, and I think it's gonna be cool. Musically, I think it's interesting. You know, it's cool.
We're very excited.
Awesome.
Last question from me. How has the fan reaction been to? I mean, it's only been out a few days, but like, you know, I remember speaking to you when Coma Ecliptic Live came out.
Yeah.
And the fan reaction to that album was like, some of the hardcore, like the deep cut BTBAM fans were like, they've gone soft, or they've gone, and like this album clearly like has some supremely heavy moments, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, songs like The Blue Nowhere, which is by far the most accessible song you've probably ever done.
Yeah.
What's the reaction been to that? Like, have you seen anything?
I would say, I mean, there's obviously going to be always negative things, which is fine.
I like the negative stuff more,
honestly. But I would say,
it's the day and age we live in.
Initially, I think it's one of the better responses. I mean, like, because normally, you know, people have these expectations before they even hear a song, you know, so it's tough to kind of compete with that. And, you know, I think, you know, for the most part, people are pretty stoked on it.
I think it's been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously sometimes the hate is sort of the loudest thing on the internet or whatever, so it's like, there's people,
and it's normally things we do on purpose.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, it's like people are like, oh, they're experimenting too much or something, and it's like, well, I mean, that's kind of, that's what we do.
That's what you do,
like,
it's fun to us.
Yeah, it's like, well, we can't just keep doing the same thing or whatever, so yeah, I mean, I think it's been very positive, and we're certainly proud of the record. So, whatever hate, you know, if people don't like it, you know, sorry. Sorry, I guess. You know, it's like,
listen to the old one, right?
Yeah, it's on them.
Or like, you know, we did our best.
And we did. We
100%
did our best.
We did our best.
I'm convinced because it's like I said, it was an instant classic to me. The second I heard it, I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Thank you so much.
Do you have any burning questions that I didn't ask?
Oh yeah, no, I possibly 1,000, but I guess my biggest question is there a song live that you guys, do you ever like circle around playing it live and then you're like, nah, we don't want to do that for whatever reason, you don't want to play it?
Like that we've played live before and then we try it again and we're like, no.
Just in general, is there songs?
Like, is there a song you're tired of?
Tired of? Or
okay.
Just
Sometimes,
like whether it's difficult to play live. Like, is there a song that's like most difficult for you guys, like as a whole, to play together?
I don't know. There's some hard songs. Like a lot of the songs on Colors are actually hard, but we've played them so many times that it's become less hard. But
the meanest answer, and you're like, it's all so easy.
No, yeah. No, none of them are easy. Shit. I mean, no.
I would say Parallax won that stuff just because it's pretty challenging stuff, and we haven't played it a lot.
Yeah,
so I think that's
that stuff. Anytime you're anytime you're busting out a new song that you've never played before ever, or like just like an old song that you haven't played in,
you're kind of learning it from scratch,
and you're almost learning it from scratch, and especially if it's an old song, like that's. It was like some of the Alaska stuff or whatever that we did on the last tour. It's like, man, I don't play like that anymore. That was 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you're learning someone else's song at that point. So that kind of stuff is weird. But then, like, I don't know, the way muscle memory and like it's crazy because then you play it a couple times and then it pretty quickly feels normal again. I don't know. It's hard to explain. The live playing is weird like that. Sometimes like songs that in theory should be easy are kind of hard, because it's like there's less margin for error or something like that. Like the super technical stuff, you can kind of fuck it up as long as you start.
Yeah, for me, the more delicate stuff is harder than like the crazy stuff.
Is Dillinger Escape Plan actually playing the correct notes, or does it just sound good?
Well, it's like if you start
the energy,
start at the same time and stop at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
Here's what happens.
Put it up to the story.
As long as you hit you hit the right breaks, right?
Yeah.
Tommy Rogers, Paul Waggoner, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure, yeah.
And good luck on this tour. Like,
Awesome.
killer.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Thanks, and don't start the interview without me anymore.
I'm so sorry, Paul. Can you ever forgive Tommy?
I'll forgive.
I
We'll talk about it later.
I blame him.
Yeah.
We'll squash
If you were doing another interview, I was like, I'll just do this one.
If I see you like shove him on stage or something, I'll know what that's about.
25 years ago.
You'll be able to cut the tension up there.
I can't wait to report that. Like, a fight broke out on stage today.
But our pleasure. Thanks for
thanks for having us.
No, thank you.
Enjoy the show.